Hello everyone, this is Damien from the Learn English Through Football team, and I hope you are all doing well. I am here in a sunny London, and it is just after Easter when we had lots of football, including the FA Cup quarter-finals. And we are going to look at a phrase from one of those games in today's Football Expression podcast. And the expression is, no fluke. My team, Tottenham, didn't play this weekend, but I did go and see QPR play in the Championship on Friday. They beat Watford to remain in mid-table, which means they won't be going up to the Premier League next season. How about you? Did you watch any football this weekend? Did your team win or draw? Or maybe they lost?
Hola a todos, estáis escuchando languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, or as we were known before, Language Caster, and that message was in Spanish. Right, this week's football expression is from the FA Cup quarter-final game between Southampton from the Championship and Premier League leaders Arsenal, which Southampton, the Saints, won 2-1 to qualify for the semi-final. One of the pundits from BBC Television, Alan Shearer, felt that this victory was not a lucky one, but a deserved win, and he used the expression not a fluke to describe this win. A fluke is something that happens completely by chance, something very lucky indeed. Sometimes we might hear the adjective form, fluky, a fluky goal, or a fluky win, for example, which mean that the goal or the win was a lucky one. Sometimes a team from a lower division or tier, when they play against a team from a higher division, can defend deeply and maybe get a lucky goal on the break. And this would be a fluky goal or a fluky win. They were lucky to win. But if we say that the victory was not a fluky one or not a fluke, we mean that the lower rank side actually played really well and fully deserved their win. This is not a fluke, said former Saints striker Alan Shearer on BBC One, and he was right. Victory went to the better side on the night, and that was from the BBC's website. And here he wants to emphasise that although Southampton play in a division lower than Arsenal, they deserved their win. It was not a lucky win. Here's another example from the BBC. The number of points won by Bolton Wanderers from last-minute goals this season is not a fluke, according to boss Steven Schumacher. In this example, the manager of Bolton wants to emphasise that late goals for his side does not mean they are lucky, but actually because they have other good characteristics, such as fitness, strength, and spirit. Here's another newspaper example, this time from The Guardian, about Morocco's amazing World Cup run in 2021. It was unexpected, but because the team played well with organisation and skill, the writers suggest that it was not a fluke at all. Morocco's joyous World Cup journey has been unexpected, but it's no fluke. Now, another phrase that we use in cup matches and is associated with luck is luck of the draw, which is often used to describe a team having good fortune when the draw is made for the next rounds of the cup or a tournament. Teams always prefer to play at home, and if they can do this against a team lower than them in the rankings, it makes it easier to qualify for the next round. Some teams seem to draw lower-ranked teams or be drawn at home on a regular basis and are then called lucky by opposing fans. They always seem to have the luck of the draw. Now, we will be looking at the 2026 World Cup very soon. I wonder what teams seem to have a good draw, which teams have the luck of the draw.
أنتم تستمعون إلى Learn English Through Football podcast.
Okay, so on this week's football expression, we have looked at the phrase no fluke after Southampton's shock victory over Arsenal in the FA Cup. We also looked at the phrase luck of the draw. Can you think of any other words or phrases that are linked to these phrases? How about in another language that you know? Now, we have opened a new post on our forum where you can find out more about this expression, no fluke, and you can also practice using this phrase there.
Hello, my name's Colm. I'm an Arsenal fan, and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
That's it for this week's football expression, no fluke. We'll be back with our weekly podcast with more football language at the weekend. Enjoy the football this week. It's the first legs of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. PSG versus Liverpool and Bayern Munich against Real Madrid are the big ties. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.